Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live stream Saturday, and a lot of requests to open up with Art Not Commerce tonight, co-starring those two dudes on a bridge. I don't know who they were, but I did chat to them. After that they asked if I was making a video and whether they could be in it, and I said yeah, fair enough. I think it's quite a good way to end that particular video after that very long walk. But thank you everyone for joining me tonight. I can see that we have a lot of you in the live chat room, so let's get you guys up on screen straight away to see who's in there. We had Billy, Tammy, Bev, Cindy, Bella, Carl, Syra, Bob, Kevin, Anna, Bonnie, Joni, Linda, Corey as well, Neil, Bella again, Charlie. Hello, thank you for joining me. I think that's probably the best run I've gone on, actually relaying the names as they're moving through the screen, because sometimes they just go a little bit too quickly. Something that I did notice in the live chat room that I haven't noticed before is that there are hearts going, I don't know whether you guys can see this, at the bottom of the live chat room there are hearts that are going through, but it's not a comment. It's like just a picture, like two of them just happened then. So I don't know whether that's people hitting the thumbs up, whether that makes that happen, or whether there's like a heart button. I don't know. And there was another one and another one. So we'll get the bottom. We'll get the bottom. We'll get to the bottom of the hearts at the bottom of the live chat room, because on my screen it's right at the bottom on the right hand side. And yeah, whether you guys can see this or not, I don't know. You might think that I'm totally crazy, but yeah. I think Carla went through saying that it's new, or Carla saying, oh, that's me doing that, it's new. Okay, so thank you Carla for doing lots of 100s and hearts and pictures on there, and just for confusing me during the live stream, not knowing what is going on. Anyway, let me get the names of my patrons up on screen, because they make this all possible in the first place. They make it possible to see all of these hearts and comments and things going off. And oh, Susan and Dennis says there is a heart button. So I don't know whether everyone can do the hearts or not, but thank you guys, whoever's got access to the heart button, for hitting the hearts. But even better than the hearts, we have the thumbs up. If you can leave a like or a thumbs up as you come through the door, that would be much appreciated for our likeometer, which will get that up on screen, because we are at 177. Now, big news for tonight's live stream. We're aiming for 370. And I've been reliably informed by Carla that this is the highest ever likes goal that we've been aiming for. So it's a bit of a special live stream. We're going for the biggest ever 370 likes. So as you come through the door, if you could leave a thumbs up, that would be great. And maybe we can get a spike of the lights going at the beginning of the live stream. What is it, 9 minutes past midnight? Here in the UK, of course, Greenwich Mean Time. Always live at 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time on a Saturday and a Tuesday. But it looks like we're about to get up to 200. If we go to 200, that'd be great, because, well, 201 is fine, because it means that we need, what, 169 more likes. So yeah, if we can keep on hammering that thumbs up, that would be great, because we need every single one we can get tonight because of where that likes goal is set. But if we do get that 370, then we will have a pick roulette next week. Of course, we're going to be having one tonight as well, so stay tuned for that. We have a couple of pictures to look at as well. So I think I've organised everything. We have the tumbler roulette as well, so we'll be giving away a glow-in-the-dark tumbler later on, and hopefully just keeping things organised. Speaking of which, we have got pretty much everything up on screen that we normally have, but I always say that you don't have to donate. Just watching is fantastic, and thank you guys for liking, subscribing, and all that kind of cool stuff. Mentioning about the subscriber count, and I will tie this in to the first donation that came in from Paul before we went live at 20 past 5 this morning, 5:20 a.m. Thank you for that, Paul. And it was a $2 donation saying 291k, yay. Spike those likes, all y'all. OSK, which stands for Orlando Sidekick. So thank you for that, Paul. And let me get this on screen, just backing up what Paul said there. We've just passed 291,000 subscribers. So thank you guys not only for watching, liking, but for subscribing as well. And make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified for all of the videos as and when they come out. So let's get rid of that. It is a bit of a crazy number. I do believe that last week, literally last Saturday, we got to 290,000, so that's 1,000 in a week, which is crazy. It doesn't normally go up that quickly, but I'm sure things will slow down. It tends to ebb and flow with the subscriber count, but it's great at the moment. More people are getting involved, watching the videos, and hopefully, fingers crossed, tuning in to the live streams, helping us get to these crazy big targets that we are aiming for now. So, yes, mentioning about the donations, because you don't have to donate. Just watching is great, but doing a comment as well, maybe hitting a thumbs up, and maybe hitting that heart thing. I mean, hitting the heart. Oh, you get other pictures as well. I just saw some smiley faces going through, so maybe you get a choice of emoticons as to what you want to have showing in the live chat room. I'm going to keep an eye out now. Just my heart's going through again. I'm going to keep an eye out on the live chat room, hopefully not to get too distracted from what's going on and all of the buttons that I've got to click. But anyway, yes, back to the donations. You don't have to donate, but some people can't resist. And if you can't resist, I think it's important that you know between 35 and 45% goes to YouTube through the super chat window, and between 3 and 5% goes to PayPal through the PayPal link, which you can find in the description below. But those are the splits. And just while we're mentioning about links in the description below, there's also a link in there for the merchandise. Let me lean over in order to grab the mug that I have on a Saturday night, and there, well, there's the mug, but there we have it. And you also get the Wings Pegasus logo on the other side with "Let's see how they get on." So you can grab yourself a mug or a hoodie or a t-shirt or a cap or a tumbler. I actually remember quite a lot of merchandise there in a row. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I missed out. Anyway, yeah, go over to spring.com, find the merch there. If you click on it, you will find it. Have a little look through, and yeah. You can also click on the tray underneath this video, which makes it a lot easier if you do indeed have a tray underneath this video. But never fear, click on that link in the description below and get taken through to the merchandise. And yeah, get your hands on anything. And if something does take your fancy over there and you want to take a picture of yourself with it, then if you are a Facebook user, you can upload your picture or pictures to the Wings of Pegasus supporters group over on Facebook, and that's the supporters group page. If you just have a look at that, you can join in with that particular group and upload a picture or two, and I will show them on the live stream, because I do get linked to that page, even though it's not the official Wings of Pegasus page. It's the supporters group, so that's where all you guys can hang out and get involved with the topics that are going on there. You can carry on the conversation after the live streams, because Bob hosts the after party. So yeah, if you want to get involved over there, then you can do if you are a Facebook user. I can see that Stardust Unicorn has just donated $7.99. Thank you for that. I always say the support band to Wings of Pegasus. Keep up the awesome work, Phil, with the big heart is the message. So thank you for that, Stardust Unicorn. And there were some donations over on PayPal as well. So thank you guys for those. I do address every single donation that comes in during not only the live streams, but during ever on the channel. So I just want to bring your attention to these, because we had a donation of £35 from Brian. So thank you for that, Brian. And that was on Wednesday morning, 14 minutes past 4. So very early in the morning, to be exact. Here in the UK, that would have been after the last live stream. So thank you for that. And we had a donation from Sophie for £1.50. So thank you for that, Sophie. And that was Thursday morning at 45 minutes past 9. So thank you for that. And next we had a £15 donation, and this came in from Jennifer. So thank you for that, Jennifer. And that was at 46 minutes past 2 in the morning on Friday. So we're getting a lot of more very early morning donations. And then Nicole has donated £16.89. So thank you for that, Nicole. And the message was, and by the way, that was at 7:30 in the morning on Friday. The message was, "Hi Phil, today is my birthday, February 17th. I wanted to share with you this moment and good cakes. Virtual. So virtual cakes. Have a beautiful weekend, Phil. Hugs and cheers." So thank you for that, Nicole. And everyone say a big happy birthday to Nicole in that live chat room, because it is her birthday. I hope that you have a fantastic birthday. And I mean, yeah, technically the 19th now, the 18th yesterday. So the 17th, which would have been, when this was sent on Friday, because I mean, I still think of now when we do the live streams as Saturday, even though it's technically Sunday. So yeah, a couple of days ago or yesterday was Nicole's birthday. So yeah, everyone wish Nicole a happy birthday. Just a day after. I hope that you had a fantastic day. Right, let's go into the next donation, which came in from Tammy, and we're getting a little bit more up to date now because Tammy donated £10 at 33 minutes past 10. That was about an hour and a half ago, almost a couple of hours ago. So thank you for that, Tammy, and that is a straight up donation. And Constance has donated £12. Thank you for that. And this was, literally just before the live stream started. So thank you for that. And the message was, "Hi Phil, your video, Are You Tone Deaf? Is so interesting. You mentioned that your dad thought you might be tone deaf. What made him think that might be the case? How old were you? And when was that idea disproved? Thanks and keep rocking." So thank you for that, Constance. And I would have said I don't remember really. It must have been when I was 8 or 9 or 10 years old. I then I started kind of messing around with playing the guitar when I was 11. So I think maybe from 11 onwards, over the next few years, I started to get an appreciation of notes. And because I was trying to play this instrument, obviously that information was going in. I think in my, mid-teens, maybe he wasn't calling me tone deaf anymore, but I still wasn't, I still couldn't sing. I couldn't do anything musical apart from kind of play the instrument, but the instrument is already tuned. So you're literally just looking at the light as you're tuning it and trying to get each light to go green, and then you know that your guitar's in tune. So I still didn't really know a lot, I'd say, in my kind of early to mid-teens. In my late teens, that's when I started wanting to play in a band and all that kind of stuff, and I was in cover bands when I was 18 or 19 years of age. So once I started getting into it at that stage, I think there was an element of now getting the hang of the music thing, but I still couldn't sing really, and I wouldn't say that I could sing until I was in my early 30s. So yeah, it actually took me a very long time to learn to sing, because we had a singer in the band, and I was used to auditioning singers, and then it got to the point where in my late 20s, we just couldn't get a singer. So I started to kind of experiment with singing in my late 20s, and going through the learning process of trying to hit pitches and be more accurate and all that kind of stuff. I'd say, my early 30s, I was then kind of what I'd consider singing, because I was actually singing, with the band, singing live and doing all that kind of stuff. So probably late 20s, early 30s. So as for singing, I think, when I was a lot younger, I didn't really know what I was doing. But like I've said in that particular video, that it's a language, and I think it's a language, and I think a lot of people who are in music agree with that. And I'm coming from the point of view of being tone deaf, or at least being referred to as that, and then learning to play an instrument, and then playing an instrument to a standard that I could then teach other people how to play the instrument, and then learn to sing, from scratch. So I think that having learned to sing, it means that it gives you a slightly different viewpoint on it, because there are so many people who teach singing and vocal coaches who have just been able to sing, and it's very difficult. And I've done so many courses on the internet, downloaded courses where the people that are teaching are good at singing, and they've always been good at singing or be able to get their voice to do what they want it to do. And it's something that I've mentioned on live streams before about every single course that I've watched. There's always an exercise or a point in the course that I get to where the teacher does something that they've never not been able to do. So when you can't do that particular thing, the teacher doesn't know how to teach you how to do it because they've never not been able to do it. So yeah, for me, it's a bit of a different approach when I'm talking about, vocals, and I have taught singing in the past as well as playing the guitar, but I very much see myself as a guitarist. It's just something that I was asked to do by people when they've either heard me sing or heard my songs and said, oh, can you teach me to sing? A very much similar thing to teaching guitar. Somebody would hear me play and say, oh, can you teach me how to play like you play? So it very much comes from that place of being able to do it, but then people wanting to be able to do what you're doing. So that's very much how the singing came along, and me teaching people from what I understood about it, having started to sing from not being able to sing. So yeah, I think that, some people who maybe started to sing when they were kids and then have just been able to do it their whole lives. Yeah, I wish I would have been able to sing when I was younger, so that I could have that, so that before my voice then broke and it changed. When I say broke, I mean kind of going through my teenage years, then becoming an adult. Obviously, guys' voices drop a lot. But I think that when you learn to sing before that happens, you've got that muscle memory and that vocal cord configuration that you can lock into. You already know how to sing and use your vocal cords how they're supposed to be used. So then as you grow older, it just means your voice is a bit lower, but you still have all of that ability. But then trying to get that ability without having had it as a kid is, I'd say, a really difficult thing. So that's why I say about learning to sing, you pretty much, if you are a guitarist, have to forget about playing the guitar, and all of your guitar practice is now going to go on your voice, trying to actually sing or sound like you can sing and get your vocal cords to hit these notes that you're aiming for, or at least you want to produce. So yeah, it's very difficult, a very long process, but it is possible. And yeah, that's why I think that video that I did, which I released last night, you guys can check that out. It'll be obviously the latest video on the channel. You can have a look at that and just jump into being able to get a deeper appreciation of pitch yourself. If you don't know, or if you can't tell the difference between notes or pitch just in general, high notes and low notes and what's going on. And interestingly, I had a comment from a vocal coach who said, I've been teaching guitar. I naturally say teaching guitar because it's just my go-to phrase when I've been teaching guitar. But anyway, yes, he's been teaching vocals. I've been a voice coach for I think 30 years, something like that. And he said, I've never thought about getting my students to look at an app or to see a line on a chart in order to help them understand what's going on with their voice. So this is something that, now with modern technology, you can totally show something in a different way that you never would have been able to have shown before. And it's great. People that might not know when your voice is going higher or lower, if you can see it, it's going to really help you to understand and see what's going on. So yeah, hopefully that video is instructional or educational, and hopefully, has helped some people to see pitch differently, literally, but in order to see it and then be able to hear it and start to attribute these lines to what we're hearing. But anyway, thank you for that, Constance. And I'm just going to scroll to the next one because Karen has donated £3.19. Thank you for that, Karen. And the message is, let me see if I can get this up on screen so you guys can see it as well. And scroll down. Hi Phil, congrats on hitting 291,000. If you don't mind my asking, what are your thoughts on digital audio workstation applications, e.g. Studio One, Pro Tools? Thanks for all you do. Cheers, Karen. So thank you for that, Karen. And I mean, the door, as I refer to it on the channel sometimes, and it's not a door that you open, it's a DAW, which stands for Digital Audio Workstation, which Karen is referring to here, is basically the program that you use on your computer to record sound and produce. So I did my album on Logic Pro 10. I think I started on Logic Pro 8, actually, and then upgraded to Logic Pro 10. But anyway, my thoughts on them are that, yeah, you're going to need, if you want to do any kind of recording, any kind of production, you're going to need a digital audio workstation to record into. And you'll need an interface, which is something that you plug your instrument into. Like if you've got even a microphone, you'll plug the lead from your mic into a digital interface, which is something that is then going to generally, I mean, what I've got here is a UX2, a Line 6 UX2. So it's like a box that you plug your microphone or your guitar, or the microphone I kind of amp up my amp up. I do turn the amp up, but I mic up my amps when I'm recording. So it means that the lead from the mic that's actually miking up my amp is going into this box, my UX2, and then out of the UX2, it's like a USB lead. It actually literally is a USB cable that goes into the computer, so then the computer can hear what's going on. Like, you know, this is exactly how this is working, that you can hear the microphone, and then if we do a fill jam later, then you'll be able to hear my guitar at the same time. So all of these things, mean that once you've got everything connected, you can then get something such as Logic Pro 10 or Pro Tools or GarageBand, whatever you want to use, or Cubase, which I've used in the past as well. You've got now a program that you can record on. And as for, I mean, it depends what you're used to. I don't particularly have an opinion on one that I would say, oh, this one's better than that other one. I'm just used to using Logic Pro 10, so I'm a Logic guy myself, and that's all I've used really. I would say probably more seriously, like doing a whole album, it means that you really get into the nitty-gritty of the program and knowing it very well. And if I was to now go and try and use another DAW, a digital audio workstation, I would have to learn where everything is again, and that takes quite a long time, because especially when you're doing production, you've got everything in front of you, and say for example, I think, right, the lead vocal needs a little bit more compression. It means that I know exactly where to go in order to get that, and I can get that on a separate screen and have just my workflow organized how I like it, and have generally plugins on one screen, and where I've got this other screen at the moment with the donations on. If I was in Logic, I would have all of my effects and plugins on that side of things, so then it wouldn't affect my overview of my project. So I generally organize into folders as well, so it might have, you know, a vocals folder, which I have my lead vocal, harmony vocals in there, and I'd have the plugins for those vocals on the left hand side. So say that I wanted a little bit more reverb on either the lead vocal or the backing vocals, then I would be doing that on another screen. But basically what I'm saying is I can organize everything how I like it in Logic, and I know where to go for my channel EQs and everything that I might apply, like delays or reverbs or, you know, chorus, anything that's on there. You know, I don't really use chorus or flanger or phaser or those kinds of things on guitar sounds, but if I wanted them, I'd know where to go to get them. I'd literally be able to do it in a couple of clicks. Whereas with an interface that you don't understand or you're not used to, it means that you'll be trying to find these things, and you might take 5 or 10 minutes to find it. And when you're producing, you just want to get everything done as quickly as possible. You think, you know, if it was possible, you would think, right, I want that particular reverb, I want Space Designer, and I want a big drums preset. For example, if I was producing the drums and wanted a slightly different sound on the snare and all that kind of stuff, I'd have all of the plugins available to me pretty much instantly. Whereas swapping and using something you're not used to can be an absolute nightmare. So yeah, Logic Pro 10 is what I use, but it's just up to everybody and whatever you're used to. Some people will use Cubase or Pro Tools or GarageBand, and they will know exactly where to go to find things, and then they might use Logic and think, I don't know what I'm doing here. So yeah, that's just what I use, Logic Pro 10. But thank you for that, Karen. And Marge has donated £1.59. So thank you for that, Marge. And the message is, I've been looking at acoustic left-handed guitars for my grandsons. I've been seeing for acoustic guitars that are also electric. Are they any good? Some come with 10-watt amps. Thank you for your views. So thank you for that, Marge. And it really depends what you want, really, because what you're talking about is either just an acoustic guitar or a semi-acoustic guitar, which is called an electro-acoustic guitar. They're both the same thing, and that means that you can then plug in the guitar and play with an amplifier. So it depends what you're going to be doing with it. What I would say is, if you want more versatility and you want to maybe in the future, or your grandsons maybe start playing the guitar a lot and they might want to go out and start doing some open mic nights or playing live and all that kind of stuff, then I'd say go for the semi-acoustic, the electro-acoustic is what it's called, even though I know you're calling it electric. But electro-acoustic, the ones that you can plug in to an amplifier, that means you're going to be able to do more with it in the future if your grandsons go in that direction, rather than having an acoustic guitar. And the great thing about a semi-acoustic and electro-acoustic guitar is that you can play it without an amplifier. You'll still be able to hear it. But the other side of just having an acoustic guitar, if you now want to play live, you will have to mic it up. So it means that, yes, somebody's going to have a microphone, and it's going to have a PA that is not only designated for the vocal, but they will have to have a channel on there for your guitar or for your grandson's guitar if they're then going to play live. So I would probably lean towards getting an electro-acoustic guitar rather than just getting an acoustic, because the great thing about an electro-acoustic guitar or semi-acoustic guitar is that they can do two things. They can plug into an amp, or you can just play it around the campfire. But just getting an acoustic guitar, it can't do two things. It is just an acoustic guitar, which means that, yeah, you just have to play it around the campfire, and that's it. I mean, you might have a campfire where you've got the capability to plug in an amp. Who knows? But yeah, if you've just got an acoustic guitar, that's all it will do. The other thing is that you have acoustic guitars, you have classical guitars, which are guitars that you can't plug in. Some classical guitars actually tell a lie. You can plug them in, but more often than not, the classical guitars you will find are just that. You don't plug them in. So yeah, and that's another thing. I think it's probably more of a specialized thing. Playing classical guitar, you're very much playing classically. You're not having a thumb over the top of the guitar. The neck's a bit thicker, it's got more wood behind the neck, so you can't really get your thumb as easily over the top, and it's very much approaching playing with a classical technique and playing with the fingers, and yeah, having that thicker fretboard, so it does restrict the playing to the classical style, which obviously is the point of it being called a classical guitar, and just using the technique to play it. But talking about playing with your fingers, obviously you can do that on acoustic guitar as well, and you can get finger picks, stick those on your fingers, or grow out your nails, whatever you want to do, or even put fake nails on. And I think are they acrylic nails? I can't remember exactly what they're called, but you can file them down, so you glue them to your actual nails, and you can play in a more natural way if you don't want to have the finger picks that you put on, which are like metal finger picks generally, but I'm sure that they're made out of, you know, different plastics and harder plastics as well. But yeah, I mean, for me, with my kind of playing technique, I like to tap onto the guitar now and again, so it means that I keep my nails short. And yeah, when I'm demonstrating anything that's got fingerstyle in there, I just tend to just use the flesh of my fingers, which isn't as easy to play like that, because you've got to actually grab the string and then pluck it, rather than just move your finger and the pick picks the string for you. But yeah, these are all things that you can take into consideration with your playing style. But I would say, yeah, short answer, go for an electroacoustic, or semi-acoustic is just the same thing. That's the two terms that mean the same thing. That's what I would go for. But thank you for that, Marge. Right, and oh, Carla has donated £10. Thank you for that, Carla. And the message is, the new live stream reaction emojis are anonymous. It's currently only phones and expanding. We have 5 options. Helps creators know the reactions without reading comments. In a nutshell. So thank you for that, Carla, for letting me know. I could see just a few hearts going through there. And did somebody just say that we've hit the goal? It might look like we've hit the goal already. I did say at the beginning of the live stream that tonight's likes goal is the highest ever likes goal. So we're really going to have to work at it. But it seems like we have... Actually, on my screen it says 370. Literally, it did say 369 as I started that sentence, and then it turned over to 370. So yeah, me watching the screen is obviously a little bit delayed, but I can see that we have hit the peak roulette likes goal. But we will keep on pushing forward with the thumbs up, and we'll see if we can max this out to however many we end up with, who knows. And you guys watching this in the future on catch up, you can hit that thumbs up as well and see if we can get it to a crazy number. It's already a crazy number, 380. So yes, oh, and yeah, Mainframe just said a classical guitar has nylon strings. Another thing to mention about the difference between the two, an acoustic and a classical guitar. A classical guitar has steel strings for the first 3, or should I say the low 3? I always say first 3 as you look at the guitar. That's what I'm used to saying with students. As you look down, the first ones you see from your eyes are the low E string, the A string and the D string, and those are going to be steel on, yeah, a classical guitar. But then they change to nylon strings, which are a lot softer. So you get that softer sound, and that'll be the G, the B and the E. So another thing to mention between those two guitars, and that very much goes into the playing style as well. Like I said, I think pretty much what was asked in that particular question is more related to the acoustic guitar, so you don't have to worry too much about it. But I will say about acoustic guitars, make sure that you change the strings from the strings that it has on in the shop, because shops always put really heavy strings on acoustic guitars because they're going to be on the wall for ages and they don't want to have to keep tuning them. So it means that if they put on a set of, 13s, some people might normally play 13s. That might be normal for people that have been playing for a while or have got very big hands, very thick fingers. But I would say that if you're just starting out playing acoustic guitar, put lighter strings on there, because so many people, when they start playing the guitar, they start playing with the strings that the guitar had on in the shop, and they say, oh, my fingers are really hurting, I've just played for a couple of hours and I've had to stop because I'm getting blisters on my fingers and it's becoming painful. And your fingers will get used to it, but there's no point in putting your fingers through too much too soon. So I always say, yeah, just string up your acoustic guitar with the lightest strings that you can, really. And for an acoustic guitar, 10s, that's, I would say, a great starting point. And if you like playing with 10s on your acoustic guitar, then just keep it at 10s and just, change them regularly if you want to keep that nice bright sound to your strings and keep that playability in there. So when I say 10s, that's the number, or at least the gauge of the high E string. That's what they're referred to as. So on electric guitar, you can have 9s. You can have 10s on an electric guitar, but make sure that you're buying 10s for an acoustic guitar. So don't put electric strings on an acoustic guitar because they won't sound very good at all, because they're not designed to go on acoustic guitars. So make sure that you get a set of 10s for your acoustic guitar, and you'll find how much easier the guitar is to play with those lighter strings, rather than trying to play with like 13s or 14s on an acoustic guitar, having just learned to play it. And this is the other thing that some people say, oh yeah, as you advance, as you get better at the guitar, you add heavier strings. No, you don't. You play the guitar with the strings that are comfortable for you, for your physiology, because not everyone has the same hands. There will be some people that like playing with 13s because their hands suit them. They have large hands. They might have, really strong hands. But other players who don't have that, you'll want to make the guitar as easy as possible to play. And, going back to guys like B.B. King, who would have a high E string that would be the equivalent of a 7 or an 8, because it was easier to bend. There's no point in making the guitar harder to play. And I know there's going to be that trade-off between the heaviness of the sound and the tone that you might like and the playability. So you just got to find that balance. So it's amazing what some people think or they say. Obviously, people that think or don't really know how guitar works, or maybe they don't kind of play to a very high level, thinking that it's literally like levels, that the better you get, the heavier the strings are. So eventually, if you get really good, you're not going to be able to play the thing because the strings just won't be able to be bent at all. It doesn't make any sense, but it's just one of those humorous comments that I saw on YouTube under a video one time. But anyway, thank you for that, Carla, about the reaction emojis. Right, we are going to mention about the cover that's going to be played later on in the live stream, and this is between I Don't Want to Miss a Thing and Is This Love, and I can see that Is This Love is at the moment in the lead by quite a lot. So if you want to hear I Don't Want to Miss a Thing, make sure you click on that, and we'll jump into my version of that a little bit later on. But we have had another donation in the PayPal window, so thank you for this, Sheila. And the donation is for £7.97, and that's a straight up donation, so thank you for that. And I can see that David donated $5, so thank you for that, David, in the super chat window. And the message is, hi Phil, hi Wingers. So hello to David. Everyone say hello to David in that live chat room. And I can see that Joe's about to say something, about to go through. I can see Wings the Pegasus being tagged. Good guitar tech, said always use lightest gauge, less stress on neck, truss rod. So thank you for that, Joe. And another valid point about the truss rod is something that runs through the neck of your guitar, and you can adjust it. I mean, some guitars actually don't have the option. It depends. Generally, the more top-end guitars will have the option to adjust the truss rod in the neck. So it means that generally you'll go into where the headstock is, you'll have an Allen key that you can either tighten or loosen, which means that as you turn it, the guitar neck, it's bringing the neck either closer or forcing it away from the body of the guitar, and it runs through the neck. So it means that sometimes if you have a problem with your guitar and say, for example, it starts to bow, I think that's the right word, where the wood starts to contract and you might get a bit of a shape too. If you imagine like a U shape, but it's really subtle, if you want to, you can then adjust the truss rod to force it flat again by adjusting the tension within the neck. So that's something that generally you would take that to a guitar tech to be able to do for you, because I don't think you should be messing with it too much, especially if you don't know what you're doing or how much to adjust it. So anyway, yeah, that's what that applies to. So yeah, the lighter the strings are, the less tension it's placing on your guitar and on your neck. So it means that the neck of the guitar, if you imagine that you've got the head of the guitar here, the body of the guitar here, the tighter the strings are, it's going to be like, imagine what I'm trying to think of here, literally a bow and arrow, kind of pulling it back. If you imagine what the bow does, the top ends of it it's kind of like this, and it actually bends because of the tension. And a bow is just like a string that you're pulling back. So that's basically what a guitar is. The tighter you make those strings and the heavier those strings are, the more it's going to want to bend the guitar neck. So yeah, it means that if you have really heavy strings all the time, then obviously it's going to affect that neck of the guitar more dramatically over a course of, a long time. It might be years, but it's just constant tension over years. So yeah, lighter strings will help with the, I was going to say durability, but probably the lifetime, how long your guitar can live for without, having serious problems. But anyway, yeah, thank you for that. Just going through the live chat room, just noticed it. But we can just jump into that PayPal window again, because Helen has donated £79.66. Thank you for that, Helen. A very kind donation, and that is a straight up donation as well. So thank you for that. And Joe has donated £10 as well, and this time we are in the PayPal window. So thank you for this, Joe. And the message is, Phil, you previously, let me just scroll down to this. Phil, you previously mentioned that with all your present commitments with your channel, you are not able to contemplate recording another album. But if by some magic, elves, and it's because I saw elves, I thought this sentence, I'm not reading it correctly. Elves and army of PAs cloning yourself a half dozen times, you are able to work on your next album. How would it differ stylistically, lyrically, sonically, etc., if at all? So thank you for that, Joe. And I mean, the only thing that I think would be different is just how I produced it, because you're always learning. The more you produce, then the better I think you can start to make things sound. So I would, produce it with kind of more knowledge, since I produced that, myself many years ago. And yeah, in terms of having the time to do it, I mean, it would be great, but I would unfortunately have to clone myself. I think there's only one way of actually being able to go away from what I do, because of all of the messages, the emails, and I've mentioned over on Patreon about the business emails that I get as well, being asked to collaborate on different things. A lot of things I don't think are particularly suitable for the channel, but there are some things now and again that come along that I think, might work. And then you have to obviously have a meeting with that particular person or company, and it's very involved, as I'm doing everything myself. So it means that everything that I'm doing on the channel and these live streams, for example, everything that you see on the screen, I have organized. I've put it there. I've colored it all in purple, and I type in the names at the bottom of the screen. So all of these things that I have to do on a daily basis in order to keep up with everything. And with the subscriber count going up as well, it means that obviously there's more then to do, kind of day on day. Like, for example, last week I said that, last week we got to 390. We'll see if that ever happens, but I think there's going to be a few more emails if we get that far. But even from 290 to 291, obviously that's 1,000 more people that are watching the videos and the channel regularly because they're subscribed. So a percentage of those 1,000 people will email or comment or send me something. So it means that I've got to then answer to that extra increase in kind of traffic or emails that I'm receiving. So I think at the moment I'm just about keeping up. It might get to a tipping point where I won't be able to, respond to everything or do the YouTube comments as much. But maybe it will be at 300,000 if we do get that far. Maybe I have to start organising my time a little bit better. But it does seem like at the moment I'm keeping on top of everything. But I mean, the admin days are literally just full days now. So I'm pretty much finishing the emails after I do the update over on Patreon, whereas before I used to finish them before and then say that today I've just been doing emails, getting CD orders up to date and all that kind of thing, whereas when I now do the update I'm still doing emails after that, and I usually go through till about maybe 5 in the morning, maybe 5:30, and then that's when I just call it a time to go to bed. But I do think that I get all of the emails done. If it then starts to be the case that I can't get all the emails done, I'm probably not going to, I will literally be going into the next day, but I need to sleep at some point. So yeah, I have to see what happens. But thank you, Joe, for that. I don't think stylistically it would change. I would just write songs as I normally do, which always tend to fall into whatever the songs sound like on the album. And I know that some people do say that there's a bit of a mix of sounds, but I'd say pretty much melodic hard rock is the heading or what I consider it to be, but I just generally write whatever I feel like writing, and however that sounds is however it comes out. So thank you for that, Joe. And Ed has donated £20. Thank you for that, Ed. And the message is, hi Phil, where did you learn all this music stuff? Special schools, I don't know anything about it, but enjoy hearing you talk about it. So thank you for that, Ed. And I haven't been to any special schools. I've just been doing it a very long time. So like I said early in this live stream, I started playing guitar when I was 11, and then I was in bands when I was 18, 19 years of age. So I was out there playing live. I also started messing around with production when I was that age, so 18 and 19 years of age. And I got books on production, mastering as well, which I would read because that was pretty much before YouTube and being able to just look up everything. So yeah, I used to read about it and learn as much as I could about production, but obviously playing live, it meant that I was going out playing once or twice a week and getting that stagecraft down, rehearsing a couple of times a week as well. So yeah, I was just learning kind of on the job, just doing it all. And through playing guitar, I then started teaching guitar when I was 22 or 23, something like that. So, I mean, by that time I'd been playing guitar for about, 11 or 12 years. And from there, it kind of was a good thing for me to be able to do. And I do consider myself very lucky that once I finished university, actually studying sports science, sport and exercise science, I got to quite a high level at playing soccer, or football as we call it here in the UK. So I was, into sports. I had that background, and that was my educational background. I was a personal trainer as well when I was younger, again around at the same time that I was starting to play guitar live and gig. So I started playing guitar 11, teaching at about 23, and I think because I'd done personal training, teaching guitar was quite a natural thing for me because I could teach people, what I'd learned in the last 11 or 12 years. And, I enjoyed that environment, teaching them kind of one-on-one. And I gave up football at about age 20 or 21 because I just enjoyed music the most. And I enjoyed teaching guitar. So I started doing that. And then, in my late 20s, I then started learning to sing. So I did lots of different courses, and a few years after that, I was then asked to teach people how to sing and asked by people to teach them how to sing from what I'd learned. So it's literally just the knowledge that I've accumulated. Easy for me to say, but the knowledge that I have accumulated over the years of doing it throughout my life. And I know that some people think that I'm younger than I am, but I won't say how old I am, but I've been doing it a very long time. So thank you for that, Ed. Right, and yes, we are now up to date there. We are going to be jumping into the cover for tonight because it is 5-1 and we need to jump into this. It's going to be Is This Love? So it's going to be my version of the White Snake classic. We'll just jump into this while I have a rest and I get my words back out in the right order. Maybe a drink of water is in the offing as well. So this is my version, of course, of it. I hope you guys enjoy it, and I'll see you guys after. Rock! You go alone. It's times like these I can't make it on my own. Wasted days, me sleepless nights, and I can't wait to see you again. I find to spend my time waiting on your call. How can I tell you, babe, my back's against the wall. By my side just to tell me it's alright, 'cause I don't think I can take anymore. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, because it's really stronger day by day, and I can't wait to see you again, so I can hold you in my arms. Is this love that I'm feeling? Is this the love that I've been searching for? Is this love, or am I dreaming? This must be love, 'cause it's really And there we have it. That was my version of the White Snake classic, Is This Love? And yeah, I noticed in more hair chat in the live chat room that video, you can see some of the videos back in the day. I say back in the day. I don't think it's too long ago. I can't remember when I did that cover. But there used to be this shampoo called Thicker Fuller Hair is what it was called. And unfortunately, it got discontinued. So you can see the videos where I was using that particular shampoo, and it did exactly what it said on the tin. But I mean, the thing is with my hair at the moment, I think if I did use thicker, fuller hair now, I think my hair would look a bit stupid, because it does, like even this bit of the side, I mean, it starts to kind of go out. Especially when, you know, fortunately at the moment it's not very warm in here, but the warmer the temperature is, the bigger the hair gets. So yeah, it's probably good that thicker, fuller hair doesn't exist anymore and is a little bit more manageable than it was back then. But anyway, let's get back to tonight's live stream and the pick roulette that we have to get into, because it's just gone 1 a.m. So we will jump into this. And top tip for tonight, I think I saw Joe saying that he wanted to be the top tip, so I'm going to write down Joe's name for the top tip, and let's jump into tonight's pick roulette. So I will see you guys in a second. Rock. And I am fully aware that I have forgotten to show the pictures, but we will do that after the pick roulette. And oh, I will also mention about this really annoying Telegram thingy that's going on, and I can't remember who it was, but somebody said in the live chat room about me having an impersonator in, or I can't remember what it was referred to, but somebody pretending to be me in the live chat room asking about Telegram, or you've won a prize and all this kind of stuff. And yes, I'm not giving away prizes in the comment section. The only thing we do is the pick roulette, but I never message anybody like that or saying Telegram. I don't even use Telegram, whatever it is, but I will address that after this pick roulette. So Joe is the top tip for tonight. So good luck everybody. If this is your first live stream, the darkest segment here, that's the t-shirt. If we land on that, we're going to have a t-shirt roulette, but if we land on somebody's name, then they're going to win the Wings of Pegasus signed pick in the middle of the wheel. So let's give it a spin and see who's going to win. And I always say double your chances of winning by tuning in on Tuesday night, because we have a pick roulette then, if we do indeed hit the pick roulette likes goal, which we have hit for tonight, of course, with a vengeance. We're at 443. You can keep on hitting that thumbs up, and if you're part of that catch-up crew, you can keep hitting that thumbs up. We are slowing down. Is it going to land on the t-shirt, even though there is only one segment of t-shirt tonight? And there we have it. So yes, we're going to be having a t-shirt roulette. Let me just get this reset so that we can give somebody a signed Wings of Pegasus pick as well. Let's give the wheel a spin and see who's going to win. I can see that Carla says the one t-shirt. There's only one segment and we landed on it. Unbelievable. So yes, we are going to be having that t-shirt roulette after this, unless we land on the t-shirt roulette again, in which case we're going to spin again, but the likelihood of that happening is ridiculously small. So here we go, we're slowing down, and I can't see Joe's name anywhere. It's going to be Celeste or Alison. Is it going to get as far as Alison? It has crept over to Alison, so congratulations to you. You have won the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in the live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you to get that signed Wings of Pegasus pick sent off. So let's now jump over to the t-shirt roulette wheel, and commiserations everybody else who didn't win the signed Wings of Pegasus pick. There's always next time, which is going to be Tuesday night. That's going to be the next pick roulette, 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. Tune into that live stream. So let's have a look at this t-shirt wheel, and we're going to give the wheel a spin and see who's going to win the custom made Wings of Pegasus t-shirt, which is signed. And Joe's going to be the top tip. If Joe's name is on the wheel, then if we land on it, of course, it's going to be the first time the top tips ever won anything. But let's have a look. I'm trying to see if Joe's name's here anyway. Well, there's a Joe, but it's not the Joe we're looking for, unfortunately. But going through, Linda, Ed, is it going to be Jill or Ed? It's going to be Jill, who is the winner for tonight of the signed Wings of Pegasus custom-made t-shirt. So congratulations to you, Jill. There's lots of J-type noises going on. Congratulations, Jill. You are the winner of the t-shirt tonight. So congratulations to you. And we have, because it was the t-shirt as a bonus wheel, we have the tumbler as well, that I almost forgot that we have the tumbler roulette wheel to get through. So congratulations, Jill, for winning that t-shirt. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, it would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you to send you that t-shirt. Right, so we are maximizing the wheels for tonight. We're going to have 3 of them, because now we're going to be jumping into the tumbler. And a big thank you to Connie for donating the 3 tumblers for these most recent wheels that we've been having on the most recent live streams, the last 3. And this is the 3rd of 3. So we're going to be spinning the wheel. And again, we're going to be looking for Joe's name to see if his name does appear on this wheel, because again, I'm going to claim that if that does land on Joe's name. And by the way, Joe's surname is Ozelis. I hope I'm saying that correctly. So that's the Joe that we're looking for. Right, let's see. We have a lot of names on this wheel, and it's very small in type. So we are slowing down. And is it going to be Bob, or is it going to get as far as Bonnie Sue? It is Bonnie Sue, who is the winner of the Wings of Pegasus Glow in the Dark tumbler, donated by Connie. So congratulations to you, Bonnie Sue. If you can let yourself be known to Carla in that live chat room, that would be much appreciated, so that she can get everything that she needs from you to send you that Wings of Pegasus tumbler. So thank you everyone for playing, and commiserations if you didn't win tonight. Commiserations to Joe as well for not winning tonight as well, being the top tip, but we could have predicted that. So yes, we are going to be moving on with the live stream. We've still got a bit of a creaky chair situation. I always forget to tighten up the bolts on the chairs. We get some rather entertaining backing noises to these live streams. But we are going to be jumping into the pictures, something that I forgot to mention. But before I do mention that, let me open up the entries for next week's Pick Roulette. We're going to type at Carla Murray and then I agree. So if you want to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel, because we hit the target of 370, even though that's the highest target we've ever been aiming for, if you want to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel, then just copy what I've done in there. I typed at Carla Murray in order to tag Carla in your comment, and then type I agree, and your name will be on that wheel. So while we're doing that, do we have time for Phil Jam? I'm not sure. We have to get into the pictures. So the first one is going to be from Debbie, and this is Debbie with her glow in the dark tumbler, and she's got Lola with her as well. So I mean, Lola is posing very well for this picture. As you guys know, this is an animal friendly channel, and Lola looking very cute indeed. I am a bit of a dog lover myself, so thank you for sending this one in, Debbie, and Lola of course for posing for that picture. And we have another picture, and this is of Dawn's tumbler. So thank you, Dawn, for sending this in, and as you can see, it's actually in the dark, so we can see the glow in the dark effect. That I always say, yeah, it's great in order to grab your drink if you're watching a movie or something and the lights are low, you don't knock over your drink, which is always a bonus. So thank you, Dawn, for uploading that one. and to Laura for linking me to the pictures. And I think I can see lots of agrees going on. I think we're down to the last... I think it's the last jam tonight, or at least the last backing track we've got to work with. So I might be able to do that. I'm just looking at the time. What is it? 10 past 1. We might have time to do a full jam if we are quick. I mean, I don't know how long the track's going to be, but we will see. And it's going to be, I think, the hard rock, the last one of those. At least I think we have the last one of those. So let me actually get to the appropriate message from Joe. And yeah, so this is going to be the last in the hard rock segment, but I think Joe is working on some more backing tracks. He's going to be finding some on the internet. So let's get into this one. Let me mute the advert. And I thought for a second there this is going to be an advert that went on for like 2 minutes and you couldn't skip it. But we can skip it. Okay, right. Here we go. This is 80s rock guitar backing track E minor, and it's from YT Jam Tracks, and that's YT in capital letters. So like YouTube for short, but YT Jam Tracks 80s rock guitar backing track E minor. So because we know it's in E minor, if we have a count in, we'll jump into a bend and see what happens. So type I agree, tag Carla Murray in your comment in order to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette Wheel. Let's jump into this. See if I can actually hear it. Okay, I can't hear it at the moment, so I'm going to have to wait for this to come through. Oh, it's because I muted the video because of the advert. Okay, let's try it again. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Hopefully you can. I think I'm getting a bit lucky at the moment. That's like a perfect slide going into that tiny breakdown. Heavy. I might have to turn up my guitar because I can't really hear it very well because the backing track's really loud. If the level's alright, I don't want to kind of turn up the guitar too much. Hopefully it's not too loud. Type I agree and tag Carla Murray in your comment. We'll see how long this is. Oh, we've still got like 4 minutes. Maybe we can get away with it, I'm not sure. It's all about to kick off again. there we have it. So that was that. That was a little bit of, yeah, a dodgy one with the levels, because I'm not sure how much of that first bit I got away with, because I couldn't really hear too much what was going on with my guitar, and then I don't know if it's going to be too loud when I then turned up my guitar. It's all a bit of a guessing game, but that's the point of the Phil Jams. We don't know what's going to happen. So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. I hope that you have typed in I agree and tagged Carla Murray in your post to get your name on next week's Pick Roulette wheel. Just to mention as well that there was another donation that came in on the PayPal window. So thank you for this, Marco. It was a donation of £1.74. So thank you for that. Right. Let me just click on, just making sure that you guys can see that donation from Marco on the screen. We are going to be having another video tomorrow night, so make sure you're subscribed, hit that notification bell for that one so that you do get notified for all of the videos as well as the live streams. We're going to be back on Tuesday night again, so we're having another Pick Roulette Tuesday night, so you can have your chance of winning there. You will be on next week's Pick Roulette wheel if you've typed I agree and you've tagged Carla in your post. Just quickly to finish with that, these comments that come in that have taken my profile picture and it says like Telegram and Telegram me, or you've won a prize, all that kind of stuff. I don't write anything like that in the comment section, and with my channel I always have a tick next to my channel name so you know it's me if there is any reply to a comment or anything. So yeah, look out for that. Unfortunately, these scams are going through the comment sections of, you know, lots of different channels, and it's a shame that YouTube can't sort it out, and I don't know how long it's going to take for them to do it, because it seems to be having gone on for quite a while already. But yeah, just ignore all of those comments, replies and things that look like it's from me but it's not. If it doesn't have a tick next to the channel name, then it's not me, and just accept that I don't do any kind of Telegram. I don't even use whatever that is, and I don't give away things in the comment section. But anyway, thank you guys for tuning in tonight. Huge shout out to the moderators for doing such a great job tonight and every single night on the live streams, and for dedicating their time to the channel and the live streams and keeping it such a great place to be. So thank you guys. Right, I'm going to be off now, but as I always say, stay as safe and as possible and as sane as is possible in this world, because it is a crazy world that we live in. I can't remember what I normally say, but I mean, it's along those lines that the world's crazy and it is difficult to stay safe and sane at the same time. But anyway, I'll see you guys at tomorrow night's video, and hopefully on Tuesday night. If you can join me again, I will be there 12 midnight Greenwich Mean Time. But I'll catch you guys at the next one. Rock!